What's doing, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you've never been here before, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Everybody else, welcome back. For those of you that have never been here before, I served 17 years in the New York prison system straight. And today we're going to talk about the importance, the necessity of the right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution, the right to not self incriminate yourself by giving a statement. Okay, there are many reasons for this. It seems that many people are aware of the right to remain silent, yet they're tricked into speaking by law enforcement through a lot of tricks that they have in their bag. One of those tricks is that law enforcement is legally allowed to lie to you during an interrogation and during an investigation. So the right to remain silent seems to not be followed by many individuals being questioned for several reasons. One is they think, excuse me, they think they can outsmart the police. They think that their plan is better than the police's plan. Pardon me one second. Got to clear the throat. And police officers go to school to learn how to trick you during an investigation. They spend hours, weeks, months, and years perfecting the interrogation tactic. And so when I tell you that you have the right to remain silent, and if a police officer is questioning you, right, whether you are innocent or guilty, you should remain silent. Even if you are innocent, you should remain silent. And the reason for that is this: when an officer says to you, you have the right to remain silent, anything you say will be used against you. Did you hear that word? Anything. That means you can say something that you think is clearing you from a crime, but they will use it against you. And you say, well, if I'll give you an example. If they say you committed a crime someplace else and you say, I was at my girlfriend's house. You hear suspects say that all the time. I was at my girlfriend's house. It couldn't have been me. You think by saying that you think by saying I was at my girlfriend's house is going to clear you, but it can be used against you. Anything you say can be used against you, because then they start investigating to see if you were at your girlfriend's house. Maybe they have you on camera proving that you were somewhere else. So now they know you're a liar, and now they know you're trying to cover everything up, right? So you don't say anything at all. Don't even admit that you weren't at the crime scene. Don't say anything. All you tell the officer is, my name is so and so, and I have the right to remain silent, and you either arrest me or let me go. And they can keep you in an interrogation room for hours, and they're pounding on you, pounding. They'll try the good cop, bad cop routine. One cop will say, listen, we really don't think it was you, and we just want you to tell your side of the story. If you tell your side of the story, then you can clear yourself, or it'll make it a lot easier for you. We don't think you're a bad guy. The first thing that the police officers do when they bring you in the interrogation room, or when they're questioning you, is they try and build a rapport with you. You see, they go to school for psychology to learn how to interrogate someone properly. And so they offer you a drink. You'll notice when you watch interrogation videos, they'll say to you, here, would you like a soda? Would you like a glass of water? Would you like a cup of coffee? The first thing they do is shake your hand. They don't want to shake your hand. They think you're a scumbag. They think you're a criminal. They think you're a waste of life. They don't want to shake your hand. But they come in and shake your hand. Hey, how you doing? That's to have that connection. That's to make you feel at ease. That's to relax you. That's to make you think that they're your friend. Can I get you a bag of chips? Are you hungry? You want something to eat? A lot of suspects say, oh, I want to smoke a cigarette. No problem. I'll get you a cigarette. And they shake your hand. They talk to you. They put a coffee in front of you. That's the good cop routine, you see? And he's talking to you nice like a gentleman. And he says to you, I don't think you're a bad guy. We all make mistakes, you see? I don't think you're a bad guy at all. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. You know what I mean? And by telling us the story right now, you can really help yourself. You know what I mean? It's only up to you to help yourself. Nobody else can help you. And we have two sides of the story, and we don't want to go with the other side of the story. We want to hear it from you directly, and if you come forth with the story and you speak the truth, you see, the truth will set you free. This is how an officer speaks to you. And you see, the truth will set you free, and it can really go a lot easier on you. And I can tell the district attorney and the prosecutor, I could tell the judge that you cooperated with us and you don't want to end up with 10 years in prison or life in prison. And I know this happened. You didn't intend for it to happen. You see, right? This is the language, this is the style that an officer will use with you during an interrogation. And it's to relax you, it's to calm you down. And none of it is the truth, right? And if it doesn't work, no matter what he says, I have the right to remain silent. When the officer asks you, "Hi, how you doing today? I'd like to ask you a few questions." I have the right to remain silent. No, I understand. Like, he keeps going, he keeps pushing. He says, "Do you where do you live?" I don't answer any questions. You don't even answer where you live. If he's doing an investigation, you are under no legal obligation to assist him in that interrogation, no matter what the circumstances. Well, are you in a relationship right now? You're married? You have a girlfriend? I don't answer any questions. Uh, who do you live with? I don't answer any questions. Where were you last night? I don't answer any questions. He says, "Well, there was a stabbing last night on the corner. You know what I mean? And we just want to know if you were home." Don't say, "I was home." What you say is, "I don't answer any questions." I don't answer any questions. They ask you if you know someone. Do you know so and so? I don't answer any questions. Well, we know you know him. We have pictures of you with her. So we're just asking you if you know so and so. I don't answer any questions, right? They're allowed to do this for hours. They're allowed to do this. It's certain states and the federal government, the Supreme Court, has ruled that they can only do this for a certain amount of time, and then they have to let you go. I want to call a lawyer. Once the good cop routine doesn't work, they're going to bring in the bad cop, the one that starts threatening you, and now they're going to try the fear tactic. Now they're going to try the scare tactic. And so I'll give you a good example of something. Let's say the police knock on my door, right? Listen to this now. Pay attention to this. Let's say the police knock on my door, and my girlfriend answers the door. And they say, "How you doing? Is Fish home? Is Joe Fish home?" "No, he's not here right now." Well, there was a killing at the 7-Eleven about a mile away. We do not think that Joe Fish did it, but because he does have a criminal record, it's just part of our routine, part of our protocol that we come here and ask him a question, to make sure that he wasn't involved. We don't think he's involved. We know he's doing the right thing, but we just want to come here and question him because that's what our bosses tell us to do. We have to talk to everyone in the neighborhood who may have had a violent crime at one time. And the girlfriend says, "No, it's impossible. Wait, what time did it happen?" And the officer says, "It happened at 11 p.m. last night." And my girlfriend says, "No, no, that would be impossible because Joe Fish came home at 8 o'clock and we had dinner. And after dinner, we sat down to watch a movie. And, after we watched the movie, we went to bed. And so it was impossible because we laid down at about 11 o'clock. So there's no way that Joey was involved in an incident at 7-Eleven." Great. What movie did you guys watch? What movie did you watch? Uh, we watched a Netflix thing, Shawshank Redemption. Okay, very nice. Excuse me. And so now the officer says, "Would you be willing to give a statement saying that Joe Fish was home?" And she says, "Of course I would give a statement. It was impossible that he was there." And she writes this statement with the police officer. And right after she gives the statement to the police officer, he issues a warrant for my arrest. Why did he issue a warrant for my arrest? Because she just gave a statement placing me 5 feet away from the scene of the crime. Because the truth and reality was, it was my neighbor who was killed. Nobody was killed at the 7-Eleven. It was the next door neighbor, and by my girlfriend giving a statement, she placed me 5 feet away from the scene of the crime. The next thing the officer is going to do is call the Netflix and get a documentation to see if Netflix was streamed, if the movie Shawshank Redemption was screened, to see if it was watched in that household at that time. Then they're going to pull surveillance cameras to see if I came or went, right? You don't give a statement. Officers are legally allowed to lie during an interrogation. Okay. So all my girlfriend was supposed to say is, I do not answer questions. The police officer knocks on the door. You don't even answer the door. You open the door. Can I help you? I would like to ask you a few questions. I'm sorry, no disrespect. I don't answer questions. Have a nice day. And you shut the door. That is not you being anti police. That is not you being anti law enforcement. What it is being pro Constitution. That's what it is pro Constitution. And officers aren't just questioning you when they have you in interrogation room, they are observing every single movement. People think that if a person that they know when someone is lying. Officers are extremely educated. As one officer is questioning you, another one is watching your body language. See, when a person is telling the truth during an interrogation, he tends to lean forward when he's telling the truth. You see, if an officer was questioning me about something and I'm leaning forward with the officer, leaning forward is a way of saying that I feel comfortable. I'm ready to engage in this back and forth conversation. You're accusing me of something, and I'm challenging you to question me on that. You see, direct eye contact and leaning forward is a way to challenge the officer that what you're accusing me of is not true, right? And they're paying attention to that, but they're also paying attention to if you're leaning back, right? See, if you're leaning back when you're being questioned, this creates distance, right? And then a lot of suspects may take that cup of coffee and they may put it in front of them. And it's a subconscious move to put a barrier between myself and the officer, to create a wall in front of myself and the officer because I'm guilty and I'm being questioned. And so I lean back and I put something in front of me, and it's all done in the mind. The suspect doesn't even realize he's doing it. And I'm not making constant eye contact with the officer, and I'm fidgeting a little. And maybe I start to get flush, or maybe I start to scratch because I'm getting nervous, or my leg is moving a little bit. These are things that you don't even realize you're doing when you're guilty. Okay. And the officer is documenting all of that. That doesn't prove that you're guilty. That doesn't prove that you committed the crime. But what they are small signs. And all these small signs start to add up. The wall in front, the leaning back, the fidgeting, the no eye contact tells the officer, right, that you have something to hide. And that makes him dig even harder, dig even deeper. You see, during an interrogation, let's say the officer's being friendly and he's talking, right? And he says, "Oh, I see you have on a New York Yankees jersey. You like the New York Yankees?" And I say, "Yeah, I like the New York Yankees." He says, "Did you see the game last night?" Right? The reason the officer is doing this is not because he wants to participate in a conversation with you. He wants to see your tension level. He's paying attention to your tension level before he asks you about the New York Yankees jersey. He looked to see if you were tense. He looked to see if you were uncomfortable. He looked to see if you were getting nervous. And then he asks you about the Yankee jersey to relax you. And my point is this, is that a guilty person will be so happy to get off the subject of the questioning that when he starts to talk about the New York Yankees, he'll take a deep breath. Like, I'm glad they're not questioning me about this murder anymore, right? And the officer will look to see if you relax. An innocent person will turn around and tell the officer, I don't want to talk about the York. Lean forward and tell the officer, I don't want to talk about the New York Yankees. You're sitting here in this interrogation room and you're accusing me of murder, and you think I want to talk about the New York Yankees? You continue talking about me with the murder. That's what I want you to do. You accusing me of something? Right? So there's a lot of things that are being paid attention to. Um, omissions. They're looking to hear what you leave out of a conversation, not just what you say. They're looking to hear what. This is why my point is, after all of this, is just don't talk at all. Do not speak at all. The chances are you are not more intelligent at an interrogation than a police officer, than a detective, than an investigator. You may be a more intelligent person, but in other things, you may be even more intelligent in life. But when it comes to an interrogation and it comes to questioning you, this is what they do every day. If you were a mechanic every day of your life, if you fix cars every day of your life, and then someone that doesn't do that tries to come in and thinks they're going to take over the show, but they're not a mechanic, how good do you think they're going to fix the engine? Not too good. They won't even know where to start. When an officer interrogates every single day and you don't do it every day, you're in a losing situation. I have the right to remain silent, right? So the reason they want you to talk is one of two reasons. Either one, they have no evidence. They have no evidence and they can't arrest you. So they need you to provide that evidence to them. And that's why they're trying to get you to talk. And they will lie and fabricate evidence. They'll tell you we have witnesses. They don't have to tell the truth. According to the Supreme Court of the United States, they don't have to tell the truth. They will tell you we have witnesses, we have you on camera, we have your fingerprints, we have your DNA, we have this, we know you did it, or you're going to go away for life. You better make this easy on yourself by talking. If they had all of that, they don't need you to talk and they are going to arrest you. Do not assist them in their investigation. Or they have enough evidence to arrest you and they're just looking to get more. This way, they can provide that evidence. They can provide your words. They can provide your statement to the district attorney, to the courts, and only hurt yourself. When if they bring you in, if it's on the street they're trying to question you, you say, "Listen, I don't answer any questions. Am I being detained?" They say, "No, you're not being detained. Have a nice day." You say to them, "If you have a warrant for my arrest, arrest me. I'm not going to speak to you and make it harder on myself." If they bring you to an interrogation room and they're questioning you first of all, don't go to the interrogation room. Don't go to the police station. And if they're going to force you to go, then that means they have evidence against you. Let's say a cop says, "Listen, we're going to come down to the station. We want to ask you a few questions." I don't go to the police station. I'm not going to the police station. If you have a warrant for my arrest, arrest me and take me to the police station. But I'm not coming to the police station on a volunteer basis. No disrespect to you, no beef with you. Thank you for being a police officer. I think the police are great, but I'm not coming to assist you in any type of investigation. I got things to do. I'm a busy guy. Call my lawyer. If he has evidence, he'll arrest you and bring you down there, and then you keep your mouth shut anyway, right? A lawyer always asks you when you get a criminal lawyer, one of the first things he asks you is, "Did you give a statement?" Because he knows if you gave a statement to the police, it's going to be harder for him to beat the case. And don't say anything, not even things that you think will clear you. Don't do that because it's not going to work for you. Another thing that's funny is you see the guys that think they're gangsters. You see the drug dealers on the street. You see the brothers that are hustling drugs. They think they know the street game. They think they know crime. And then the cop busts them and they talk like little girls, right? You see this all the time. Let's say someone gets pulled over for any reason. The police officer pulls them over. And when the police officer pulls them over, they find some narcotics in the car, in the back seat, right? And so the cop pulls him out of the car, says, "Oh, you're going to jail for this. You're going to jail. You got a nice amount of drugs here. A matter of fact, you're going to go to jail. I'm going to arrest you for intent to sell because this looks like it's bagged up with the intention of selling it." And the guy says, "I'm not selling drugs. I don't know what you're talking about." You're going now. See, there's a big difference between possession of drugs and the intention to sell drugs. The possession of drugs can be a misdemeanor. The intention to sell the drug can be a felony. It can make a difference of years in prison. And so the officer starts accusing the suspect with the intention to sell the drug, which is making the suspect nervous, right? Because he's a drug dealer, but he doesn't want to be arrested. So he starts to say, nah, it's for personal use. He just messed up. When he said it's for personal use, that means he's admitting that he knew it was in the car. That means he's admitting that it was his. That means he's admitting that he uses it. And they'll put the intent to sell on there anyway. But he just gave a statement when he shouldn't have said nothing. When he says, "Oh," when the officer says to him, "Oh, you got this. This is intent to sell." I don't have any statement. Well, didn't you know, look at the way it's bagged up? Where'd you get it from? I don't have any statement. Well, you had to know it was in the car. It was in the back seat. I don't have any statement. Now, when he goes and gets a lawyer, and the lawyer says to him, "Did you give a statement to the police?" He says, "No, I didn't give any statement." Now the lawyer and him can come up with the story for the judge that he didn't even know the drugs were in the back seat. That he gave a friend a ride the day before, and the friend must have left him in the back seat. It may not be that believable, but there's no statement contradicting it. He didn't give any statement contradicting it, and it's possible. And it can create doubt in the jury's mind, in the judge's mind. But once he says, that's personal use, man. I only use it for personal use. I'm not selling it. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, the lawyer says to him, "Did you give a statement?" "Yeah, I told them it was for personal use and I don't sell it." You see the importance of keeping your mouth shut? This right to remain silent, the Fifth Amendment, was given to protect you from self incrimination. I could give you 1,000 examples, 1,000 stories. It's so important. I made a video on this about a year ago, maybe a little longer, but it needs to be said again. And you need to remember that the officer, I got no beef with the police officers. There's good cops and there's bad cops. I'm just saying is that you are only influenced to talk to hurt you. It's the officer's job to gain as much as information as he can to hurt you, to bring you down, to prosecute you. And so it's just better to keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. I'll post another video later, guys. You have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you.